the Fantastic Four. What can I say? The Fantastic Four are fantastic. In fact, look, I normally don't do this, but I am going to put a bit of a plug here. I am on TikTok and I am on Instagram. And the reason I'm going to do this is because I did a video as soon as I got these guys, and I think that explains exactly what I have to say at the start of this video. So for about 10 minutes, let that bill tell you why this is so important and why he cannot wait to open these figures. So I'm going to cut to that clip, let him explain it to you, and then we're going to open these guys up. Just, let's do it. I came home today, and there was a big, badass toy box. This could be one of 4 different things. And I'm not sure exactly what one of those things it is. But I'm about to. Whoop. 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 Okay. Awesome. The High Evolutionary. Yes. Awesome. The Invisible Woman. Yes. Yes. Human Torch. Mr. Fantastic. Oh, Psycho Man. Oh my gosh, he's heavy. The Thing. Awesome. This is awesome. This is awesome. These were on deep discount. And I mean deep discount. The channel, I went on a toy show not way too long ago. You'll notice I haven't really been on TikTok for a while. I've been very busy. I went on another channel to do a show, Weird Fantastic Toy Adventures. And on that show, I was talking to a guy, he goes by the tag Motu Joneser. He told me about this ridiculous discount, that this entire line, this wave right here, was marked down by like 57%. So I got all of that for like 60 bucks. That was it. And maybe that doesn't sound like too big a deal, but to me, I was like, holy crap. The Thing, on a personal note, as far as what I've seen, The Thing is probably worth 40 or 50 himself. Now, I realize as I went through and I looked at their individual pricings, I know he's not. But on a personal level, if you were to sell The Thing for $40, I'd tell you he's probably worth it, because he's a beefy, hardcore, big figure. And he looks, if I dare say, fantastic. So I am like, this is a thrill to get in one sweep the entire Fantastic Four for the shelf. And it's not done, by the way. Right after I got this, I realized that if I was getting all this, there was one more that I had to pick up. So I put my money down and I got the exclusive Human Torch, not transformed. So like a Johnny Storm figure that comes with like some fire effects. And I was like, I mean, I almost have to, right? Like, I mean, why would you not at that point? that pretty much finishes it off. So at this point, the question becomes, do I jump in and finish it? And what I mean by that is that there's a really solid Doctor Doom in a Super Scroll line, and every single figure in that line is solid. Costs a little money now, it's out of print, and I would have to go one figure at a time very slowly and accumulate them. But I think that it would be worth doing. There's a Mr. Fantastic, so there's all the Fantastic Four in that line, and they are specifically in the black suits, so in the Future Foundation. There's a She-Hulk in that line, which looks to be the best She-Hulk I've ever seen in Marvel Legends ever. She looks fantastic, dare I say. And then the other one, so there's all four of the Fantastic Four. There's She-Hulk, and there's a Doctor Doom, and all of these guys put together Super Scroll. The entire line is solid. Not one of them is bad from what I see on a personal level. And if you like the Fantastic Four, and you like the fact that unlike other superhero teams, they've been allowed to evolve and grow. And the Thing. Yeah, because I said all the Fantastic Four. It just amazes me. They're one of the few superhero groups that have been allowed to evolve, move forward, and change over time. It's remarkable because, let's be honest, Spider-Man is still doing basically what Spider-Man has been doing since he left high school. He is. Every time he makes advances in his life, Marvel pulls him back and resets him. They always want him to be like a green character, and which is ridiculous, where these guys don't do that. These guys have grown up. They've had families. They've had kids. They've developed as people. They've gotten married. They've had affairs. But all of these things, I'm not saying these things don't happen to Parker, but when they happen to Parker, Parker never learns from it, because if he learns from it, his character would change and he would never be the same and he would never make the same kinds of mistakes. And you can't do that in comic books. You need him to perpetually make and be the same character. These guys have never had that problem. These guys have always been allowed to move forward with their lives and make significant changes. Not that Doctor Doom isn't always coming back. We know that. But that's the status quo doesn't seem to reset as hard for them as it does for other characters. And that's something I've always admired about the Fantastic Four. So to tell me that I could get the black suits, I would actually want that. So if I put the blue suits and the black suits on the shelf, then that would leave only one more thing to hunt down. And I think it'd be worth it. I could hunt down the there's a pack for the kids, and I think that would be cool too, because then I would literally have the entire family, both past and future, the Fantastic Four. Which, if you want my personal opinion, the Fantastic Four might still be the best superhero team ever introduced in all of fiction. And I'm not kidding about that. The balance set a standard for how comic book superhero teams should work forever. Let's be honest here. Let's just talk about it. You have a younger DPS guy, right? You have this person right here, whom is the protector and buff person of the group. They buff the party, they protect the party, they help the party, they're kind of the heart, they keep things together. We have the brain that solves the problems they come across. And we have the bruiser, or tank, that takes the damage and delivers the hits for the party. That's pretty much an absolute perfect team. Every single thing that one of them has, the others don't have, they make up for each other. Like a team, like a family. And it's perfect. It doesn't need to be any better than that. It's already perfect. They are a perfect team. Always have been. And if you ever find yourself making something, like developing a superhero team, like you play Marvel Ultimate Alliance or something like that, they're the absolute cornerstone of what you're looking for. They make the most sense for any team. There is no situation they will come across that they cannot handle, because every single one of them that lacks a thing is made up for by the other members of the team. Fantastic Four are fantastic. And now they're on the shelf. Okay, so let's not get too crazy on this part of the video because we did just drop a 10-minute explanation. And this isn't anything too crazy. Fantastic Four packaging. If you're an inbox collector, these are perfect. They're perfect. They're on card. They're on a retro card, which is my preferred favorite kinds of things. Yes, there's something to be said for this, right? That's a solid box. You look at it, it's a solid box. There's something to be said for this. That's a solid box. You look at it, it's a solid box. I won't take that away, no, like at all. I'm going to say that those are solid. But there's something about a solid retro card that I just never get over. That's perfect. For an inbox collector, it's perfect. And for an opener, it's also perfect because we're not too worried about losing the box. Normally these are pretty simple, and this is no different whatsoever. What we don't like are these. Even if the figure is absolutely fantastic, these boxes are not. They're bad for inbox collectors, and they're bad for openers because we also don't have a clear view of what it is we bought. Do I have any question whatsoever that this is what I bought? No, I can look right at him. That's perfect. That's what I bought. Decent little artwork here. And on the back, what's this? A cross cell? What? The reason I'm making such a big deal about that is because for some reason we've gotten to this weird point where I'm noticing in the toy stores that they're like cutting this off the back of the box. It doesn't seem to exist anymore. Now it's just like an artwork on the back of the figure or something like that. Like, no, the X-Men is not a good indicator of that because I just went to pick that one up and it's not like this. That's a problem. To me, that's a problem. This is not okay because what else is in the line? Do I know? Do you know? Do you know for sure? Are you 100% sure? And I'm sure that most people watching this channel will say, oh, of course, I know exactly what's in the line. But what if you're just like a parent or a grandparent or a friend that's not really into this, or a girlfriend, say something like that, like a girlfriend that wants to kind of get, a girlfriend or a boyfriend, I guess, you could put this either way, that wants to pick up some figures for your man, for your significant other, for your girlfriend, for whatever, and you think to yourself, well, I'd like to just go ahead and get what they don't have. And you know that like somebody bought Mr. Fantastic or whatever, but you don't know what else is there. You know that like Andrew Garfield was in the line, but what about the other Spider-Man? Do you know? I don't know. Do you know? Maybe. Who knows? You have to do research. I don't have to do research. I can literally look at the back here and say, Mr. Fantastic, got it. Marvel's Thing, got it. Marvel's Invisible Woman, got it. Human Torch, got it. Psycho Man, got it. High Evolutionary, got it. That's perfect. That's perfect because we take the guesswork out of it. We know what we got and what we need to hunt down. These cross cells, I feel like they're important. And the fact that they're appearing less and less on the back of packaging lately, I think that's bad. I think that's a bad thing for business. And I realize that exclusives happen. And I was told not way too long ago that part of the reason that they think this is happening is because like Target doesn't want to advertise the toys that are going to Walmart or whatever. Okay, sure. I guess I get that. But at the same time, I don't agree with it. That's about all we have to do with the boxes this time. Let's open these mugs up. Okay, let's start with Mr. Fantastic. Now, if I have to complain right off the bat, I'm going to complain about this. He got extra arms. That's fine, because we kind of need the extra arms because it's cool to have the extra arms so that we can do this coat thing. He can have the coat, the science coat, which is actually a really cool little gimmick for him, or he can have his stretchy powers. A problem. And I'm being serious, this is a problem. Long fingers? Long fingers is what you decided? Guys, there is a problem that seems to run with the Fantastic Four. And part of it is that sometimes they're looked at like a joke. And this crap is why. Mr. Fantastic? Has anybody seen One Piece? That's Mr. Fantastic. That's what he actually should be. He's nearly indestructible. You could shoot a missile at him. Big deal. He can like wrap around it and like literally suffocate the missile, stop the expulsion system or whatever. Like, he's one of the smartest people to have ever existed literally in the entire Marvel universe. He's nearly unkillable. Like, the Thing can punch him right in the chest and cause 0 damage. He can stretch to an absolute ridiculous limit. Bullets can't really penetrate him. He's just... It just blows my mind. He can form giant hammers. He can turn himself into a parachute. He can, like, make his hands real big. He can roll himself into a ball and shoot himself like a cannonball at somebody. Like, there's almost no limit to what he can do with the power to be able to manipulate his body structure in that way. And yet, this... long fingers. What about, like, a big hammer hand for one of them, right? Like a hammer hand... so he could have had normal open hands. He could have had long fingers for stupid reasons. He could have had like a hammer hand, and then he could have like a big hand or like a big round ball or something like that. But no, you chose long fingers. Marvel, Hasbro, you are the reason that people laugh at the Fantastic Four. You're why. I'm sorry, you are. Let's move. So we got this coat. I like this coat. I think this is a really cool idea. I mean, you could complain that this isn't actually connected, and maybe that affects it a little bit, but I actually don't think this is bad. I think the illusion holds up quite well. And if you have like the right thing, maybe you could put like, maybe if you had like a little data pad or something from another figure, like I have some Star Trek stuff that I could put in his hand, and he could be like, blah, 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 science stuff, blah, 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 science. That face is, dare I say, fantastic. Look at that. Like, that is good. That is a solid likeness. I can believe that that is Mr. Fantastic. On a personal note, I can buy this. I can buy into this. I think that works really well for me. Let's see. The arms, I'm assuming, they just, as far as I could tell, we're just going to pop the arms out here. Oh, whew. They're in there. That's a good thing, to be fair. You don't want them to just, like, pop right out. But they're in there. So you pop these out. You flip that off. You give him long fingers. There's that. There's that. And now, he's long fingers. So stupid. Long fingers. That's what you decided? Just, but otherwise... this is perfect. This is what you want. This is the costume right here. It works. We're looking at old articulation. So we got a turn here. We got a decent little upper ab crunch. The head is fine for what it's worth, but it's not going to win any awards. We got the double knee, not pinless, of course. He can kick his own butt, of which he has no butt. And the arms are the same way. He can reach all the way up to fist palm with magnificence. Oh, long hands. This is what they decided. Long frickin' hands. Oh, you see that? Even he's disappointed by your ignorance that you would do something like that to him. But I'm going to put his lab coat back on and we're going to look at another guy. On a personal level, I would tell you that this checks out. He's good. He's a solid figure for what he is, and he does have some age on him. He's definitely built on an older body, and that'll be interesting to get the other Fantastic Four and really compare how the bodies have changed over time. But, like, because we don't have any articulation down here necessarily, we got this up here. It's just, they're older bodies. But I really don't think that's going to hurt him, because at the same time, I could make the argument that these are the retro versions of the characters, and maybe there's something to be said for having them retro in almost every way. Okay, Sue Storm. Now, right off the bat, Sue Storm has a problem. She's on that older female buck that really does not like to stand. You have to fight with it a little bit. There, I got it to balance. It's a little bit of a problem. This was a problem that seems to have been corrected quite nicely in some of the new female characters, but back then they weren't balanced very well, and this was an actual problem. A lot of female characters have trouble standing up. But for what it's worth, the costume looks fine. The sculpt seems okay. We're getting a little hardcore on the hips for Sue. I don't know if I don't think that I play Sue out as an absolute babe. She's got that butt. Look at that. They actually gave Sue a butt. Look at that. That's a butt. See, girls actually have butts. What's this? You know, I'm seeing this on a couple of figures now, and she's got the same thing. She's got the two right there and right there. Is this? Did they reuse this? What figure was this that we're still using the bust, like the female bust, for a lot of the girls? Because I think we just went over this in Renew Your Vows, that she had the same thing going on. Mary Jane had the two holes in her back. What figure was it that utilized this two holes in the back system, and what was it for? I am legit wondering where that comes from. Why? Like, what was I really want to know. Like, I'm absolutely curious now, because this is not the only time that I've come across this. In fact, aside from new legs and maybe new arms, is this the same female buck that they gave us for Mary Jane? Because Mary Jane also does not have a lower ab crunch. I'm curious about that. I'm really curious about that. I'm going to grab her right now. Here's the Mary Jane that we got. And I'm looking here. Let's fix this. Let's get the camera to focus here. Is that the same bus? Is that the same bus line? That's the same stomach area. That's got that little bump that I was talking about. The bump right there at the ab work. That's what this is. They even got the same butt. I'm pretty sure. I don't think this is different. I think this is just a different paint. She got the better, newer arms. She did not. She has the old female arms with the no elbows. She got the newer legs, but not the new legs. Mary Jane got the new legs. Spinneret got the new legs. But they reused almost the entire mid-female buck. And that's why they have these holes in their back. That's interesting to me. I didn't see that coming. That's really interesting to me. So now that I've discovered that, let's go on to I don't know if I necessarily consider that a problem. I would like newer arms, but just like I was talking about with him, I think I'm willing to let certain things go because as a retro team in retro costumes, I would love to see an update of these figures, but I don't think I'm mad necessarily to have them feel a bit retro on the shelf. I actually think that I can get over that, in all honesty. One thing, though. What were you thinking? Look at her face. Is that... am I the only one? Maybe I'm the only one that's bothered. That does not feel right to me. This hair is really good. Like, that's a really good older style hair, but I don't know. Is that the face we wanted? Does that work for anybody else? Maybe it's not even necessarily that it's a bad face. It's the open mouth. There's something in coordination with all the features of the face. Does it not look like she's a little constipated, like she's pooping or something? Does that not bother anybody else? That face doesn't seem right to me. Maybe it'll grow on me. Maybe it looks like she's straining. Maybe the idea is that she's putting up the shield and she's got a little bit of a strain to her. Speaking in which, this is the shield she came with. And I'm not sure if it goes in this hand. I think it goes in this hand. Okay, so the hand kind of grips the shield. See that? It works for what it's worth. We could put it up. Oh, good. Yeah, these old figures, you get used to all the new ones, man. There. She's kind of got like a... She kind of puts it up. She defends the team. It works for what it's worth, but I, on a personal level, would have loved to have seen a bigger shield. Maybe a little more detail in the idea. Maybe we turn her hand a little bit. She put it straight out, maybe? No, come on. Oh, these old bucks do have problems that you get used to the new ones. Yeah, you stop paying attention to how much trouble you used to have with the old ones. You really do. Now it seems like there, I got it. There, we kind of got like a thing. She put it straight out, lift the wrist a bit. Not bad. It's got a neat effect. I don't think I love it. And like I said, it seems to have like problems because it really doesn't want to, it really just doesn't want to go like that's the way it needs to go. The fingers need to go in there and it really needs to grip. And when you push it on there, it takes like the pinky. Is it the pinky that's giving me problems now? Do I need the whole hand in there to make this work? Or does the pinky need to be on the outside? But then the pinky, it like, see how it spreads? This shield is not good. It feels like it would be. But I'm having a lot of trouble here. If we get all 4 fingers into the shield part, the grippy thing, it feels too tight. Shield's bad. You can get it to work. But on a personal note, the shield part thing is bad. Unless I'm trying the wrong hand. Maybe put these 3 fingers in there. And no, I'm not. Because now the thumb doesn't go. So this shield is meant for this hand. And it just does not want to work. Oh my gosh, the old she's a real problem. I forgot how the old female characters used to get absolutely shafted. Come on. Get your hand in the shield. Grab the shield. No. If the pinky is in the shield, it's a problem. So you gotta really fight with it, and you gotta get the thumb up and around this part right there, and I got it, and it's a pain, and that's not good design. I feel like this could have had like a little thing that came down and wrapped around the wrist a little bit and gave her some stability. That's not a good design. It hurt one of the biggest things. Oh, and she came with punching hands. But yeah. Do I hate her? So far I would tell you she's the weakest in the line. But I think I can get over it. It's almost a trip down memory lane to remember how some of these old figures felt, because we don't think about it sometimes if you're really like in the toy circles and you're just kind of used to getting all the newest stuff. But like, these figures have come a long way. In a short amount of time, they've come a long way. And when you get these older bucks, you can see just how far they really have come and how much we really have changed. I'm going to give her a pass. I don't hate her at all. I think she'll go on the shelf, but she has a lot of old figure flaws. And that's not perfect. I'll have to figure out some better way to do the shield, but I think she's all right. Okay, on to the Human Torch. Now the Human Torch, this is actually pretty cool. For a figure that's in this age area, this is cool because this is still a bit of an older buck. We are still looking at pins and things like that. I consider anything, by this point, retro parts are things with pins. We've moved past pins. We haven't had a pin in like in the entire run of Masterverse. I'm just saying we haven't seen it. A lot of different figures are moving in a way where pins are becoming completely irrelevant. Not that we haven't seen it. We've seen pins in a lot of other figures, yes. But for the most part, in terms of Marvel Legends, all the new parts are pinless. If it has pins, I consider it a retro part. I consider that if it has pins or, you know, the single joint elbows and things like that, at this point, that is a retro figure. He's got a decent retro buck, but he's got a lot of personality. I like the little fire effect, the little red, the black lines that go into him. I like that he's kind of see-through like this. That's like really cool. Like, I really do like that. I think that's a really cool effect because this is right. This is the Human Torch right here. I like that he's got like the fire on his hair. He's got the fire that comes up on his hands. And the areas that didn't get fire effects, we can add them. He came with like this little side shoulders thing, so you could put that on him. And then he's got shoulder flames, right? Solid. That's really cool. He came with 2 regular hands, but like, why? On a personal note, I wouldn't care. I wouldn't use the regular hands when I've got this. Like, this is what I'm going for right here, right? Like, the old, this is it, man. This is what I want when I think about it. If he had a fireball, he'd be almost perfect in this idea. He also got 2 fire effects like this. And on a personal note, I think what we're going to do is, because I think it's pretty much up to you, but I'm going to wrap it around the legs here and see if I can't get away with something like that. Let's see about this way here. Because I kind of want these on the legs. I want him to have kind of like flaming feet area. That's cool right there. I'm kind of into that. And I think these are really for the wrists, but like I said, if I can get away with this, this is what I'm going to do. So, oh my gosh, this fire effect right here. His shoulders fell off. His shoulders fell off. Oh my gosh. Let me get it. Like, there, open that fire effect. Get it on him. There. Kind of get that down by his legs here. Span it around. Maybe we'll flip that. Maybe that's the better idea. Maybe because it's really thin down at the bottom, that'll cross his ankles. And then that'll come up around him. And I feel like that adds, see, because now he's got like the fire feet. And oh my gosh, do not knock her over. She's tough to stand. There. What I'll do with the pose, I don't know. But like, Sue, you're killing me. But yeah, there. And he might be really cool on like a flight stand. Because then you could very much get like a thing like this going on. Where you have his arm kind of coming back. And you could see that he's all on fire and everything. This is probably the way to go with him. Is to get him on a flight stand. So I might purposely grab something for that purpose. Because if I have him on the shelf, he might be one that I want specifically to fly. But he's solid. I think he's an absolute keeper. I think he's I keep doing this. I think he's fantastic. I'm not even meaning to do that. Like, he's just really good. He's one of the best right now. So far, it goes him, her. So this is almost... I don't even know what to say. This is almost mind-blowing. The High Evolutionary is the most advanced figure of the set. Like, pinless, elbows, knees, thigh swivel, decent turn. He has the boots that move. He has a decent ankle. He has all kinds of movement up here. He does not have a lower movement, so he's still working with an older body. The head sculpt is fantastic, and he looks up better than Spider-Man can. like what? Yeah, he's got that rocking joint just like Spider-Man. The High Evolutionary, in a strange way, is more evolved than the rest of them. Her being the absolute most outdated version of the characters. Him being an older buck. Johnny being an older buck. He's not. Like, and he looks good too. Like, he looks really good. Like, that's some really impressive work right here. The paint and everything like that is pretty well done. Maybe this guy has a wash that's bringing the colors out. I don't know. Or maybe it's just the sculpt really hits the light very, very well. All the rivets and everything like that. He got two other hands. He got like a power hand and a punching hand for the other side. That head is crazy cool. Look at that. Like, so far, if you want to talk about just the quality of the figure, not the cool factor or whatever, just the quality of the figure in this line, he was like the most advanced in the wave, which is strange to me. You'd think it would spring for a bit of the full extras package on, like, you know, some of the Fantastic Four. Because this line isn't so old that it couldn't have used a lot of newer parts, you wouldn't think. But, like, I guess so. Yeah, wild. I'm almost speechless. Like, that literally blows my mind that his parts seem way more advanced than their parts. Were we just at the turning point to get all the pinless equipment at this point? Like, did we just enter the phase right here around this line? Did the lines coming out right here? We're starting to get the pinless legs and pinless arms and whatnot, because he's got pinless legs, pinless arms. He's got the turn at the boot. Like, I'm aghast. I'm literally shocked. Pleasantly so. That's pretty cool that the High Evolutionary is a solid guy here. Let's check out Psycho Man. Now, Psycho Man is a mess of awesome and incredibly problematic. He came with this, which is kind of cool, but there's a big problem with it. First off, it doesn't open or move or anything like that, so this is just something he's supposed to, like, hold, but he can't. It's like too big. He can't do it. He didn't come with extra hands. This is what he has. He's got this open hand that can't hold the item he came with, and he's got a punching hand for giving it to somebody. Yeah, he can't hold it. He actually cannot do it. I'm not exaggerating. I'm trying. There's no, like, indentations or anything for his fingers. His hand doesn't open up enough. It doesn't slip in any direction whatsoever. He can't do it. So he came with a thing. Junk. Just an extra thing. The rest of him has problems as well. Pinless. So we must have just been moving into the spot, which still is blowing my mind that they couldn't give pinless parts, legs, or anything to any of the Fantastic Four. I'm really confused about that. But then he got pinless, and so the two bad guys both got pinless stuff, whatever. So look, we got this, but even though this is pinless, and even though you would think it would move a little better, it doesn't, because these rings that are really cool, by the way, they get in his way. So you got movement, but yeah, and the foot as well. It's got some rock and everything like that. He gets in his own way. All of this is really cool, but it literally gets in his own way. See how it moves and it kind of gets gripped on all the little green things? So he doesn't move well. He looks great. He's a frickin' psycho statue man, really. His arms and everything do fine. His head does all right. It's a wild thing, though, like the way it moves around and everything. And he looks great, by the way. He looks fantastic. I keep saying that word. I'm sorry, that's like a word that I use normally, and so I keep saying it in this, like, review, and then it makes it sound like I'm trying to say, it makes it sound like I'm trying to make a joke. I'm not. I actually use the word fantastic a lot. You can go back and look at some of the other videos. I really use that. But here in the Fantastic Four video, it makes me feel about ridiculous to continually say a fantastic. He's got some rock here. It's very limited. He's got some turn. There's a lot of snapping here when you turn him. He's almost a statue. Like, he moves, but it is incredibly limited. Now, the guy I've waited for the entire thing, I haven't touched him on purpose, I've been waiting. This guy. It's thing time. This here is a chunky boy. Like, this guy has very real weight to him. I mean, he's heavy. I can't really explain it to you. He does not feel cheap at all. This does not feel like he's all hollowed out or whatever. He feels like a big boy. He's got big open hands, or he came with clobbering hands for, yeah, I hate to say it, but for when it's clobbering time, right? He came with a more Concernicus face, like an actual, hey man, you know, just like his normal face, like, oh, I'm just saying, guys, you know, maybe we could have actually given some pinless joints to the other guys, right? Because, I mean, they're pretty important guys, especially my friend Slim. And then we got right here, that's the clobbering face, right? That's the face right there. That's the head we're putting on him. Then we're going to get it on there. Get it on there. Oh, having trouble here. Oh, I'm going to get it. Oh, I think I got it. Yeah, look at this. He's a big guy. We got it on there. We got to spin. He kind of looks up. Oh, there's something up there. He kind of looks down. He's got the brood. Yeah, I'm trying to give you everything I can give. This guy is amazing. Like, pinless, but he doesn't have a whole lot of range of movement. It is pinless, but he doesn't have a whole ridiculous range of movement. But it's okay. This is like a big dude, and we want him to be, right? We want him to be like Incredible Hulk level. In fact, he's one of the only characters in the entirety of the Marvel Universe that has knocked the Hulk out. He has done it. There is an issue that I know of personally where he punched Hulk so hard that he actually knocked the Hulk unconscious and took the Hulk out, and it shattered all the rocks in his hands, and he just had like a busted up hand for a while after he did it. Speaking of which, the hand moves in, the hand moves out. He can put it out there for a big manly handshake. Put it there, pal. He can grab a hold of you, and you don't want this thing grabbing a hold of you. This guy is tremendously cool. He does not have the shoulder movement in terms of the bicep swivels. He does go all the way out to a T-pose. I mean, he even resists you a little bit. But you can see I'm getting plenty of movement with him. He's got movement up here. He's got decent turn. He doesn't have like a mid thing here. He's got that swivel here. He does not have he does not have pinless legs. He still has pin legs. He cannot kick his own butt. His rocks get in the way. Speaking in which, you know what? He's got a big chonker booty. That's fine. Look at that. Even like literally, look at him from behind. Like, I'm not talking about look at his butt. Don't look at his butt. He's a modest guy, this guy. I mean, he's only wearing like his trunks out here. But look at him. Like, look at that. There's so much detail in all this. All these little rocks and everything like that. You could argue that maybe a wash would have helped it a little bit. But like, look, there's cracks in the rocks. Like, there's a lot going on here. You could stare at this guy for a long time and keep seeing new stuff. Like, it is quite impressive. Like, look there. Like really, if you got this right, like, he kind of looks like he's a little sad or something like that, right? Like if you put something in front of him the right way or something like that, he could look like he's a little disappointed or talking to somebody. He can also take poses. Oh my gosh. Let me get this arm moving. There. He can literally put his arm up here, and because the wrist kind of moves the way that we want it to, see? Like, it's not quite right, but he can kind of put his hand on his hips. I'll bet you if I played around with it for a while, I could get that. There, I got something like that right there. Like, so what do you say we do with him then? You know, like, that's really cool. This dude he's the friggin' star of the line. I don't even care. He's the star of the line as far as I'm concerned. I'm real about that. The Thing is where it's at, man. I don't have a lot of figures like this. Primarily because I don't like to buy big chonkers. Because almost every time I do, they don't move well, they don't look good. Like, I've had that experience many times where these big dudes, they don't move well and they don't look good because of it. You can't pose them, you get very little movement out of them, and they're just kind of in their own way, and they're heavy and restrictive. I mean, this is awesome. Let me pop his big, giant, ridiculous hand out here and give him a big, giant, ridiculous hand here. Even there, there's, oh, that's cool. This is a little R for the right that's in there. Let me see if I can get that. See that R? That's kind of cool. Oh, there we go. Got his fist in there. That's his big right. I don't think you understand what's coming. Look at him. This dude's like, I manipulate your emotions to make you mad. Yeah? Well, that's real stupid, because when I get mad, things get clobbered. Wow, look at that. Oh my God, look at that. Ah, just the imposing nature of how big he is. Like, he is awesome, man. Like, he is so freaking cool. This is... I can't believe I'm about to say this. This is one of my favorite figures I have ever held in my hands. Already that fast, in terms of my Marvel Legends, in terms of my Marvel shelf, he's easily one of my top 10 figures I have ever bought in Marvel Legends. I almost can't even believe that. So I know we're already a ways in on this video, and this is going to be like one of the longest videos I've posted in a long time, because I decided not to do all these. I thought about piecing them out, but then I thought, just go with it. Just do a big, long, Fantastic Four entire line discussion. And guys, if this is still available on Big Bad Toy Store, this is a deal. Like, this is great for the price that it costs, and maybe you're just looking for one thing. Maybe you're just looking for the Thing, because he's fantastic. I'm sorry. This guy is awesome. Like, he's a little restrictive. He likes to fight with you a bit because he's just a big honking thing. But like, there's so much detail and so much worked into him, and like I'm telling you, I'm not even close to kidding. He is easily one of my top 10 figures ever that I have ever bought from Marvel Legends. He's up there. He's up there with Spider-Man Renew Your Vows right off the bat. Spider-Man Renew Your Vows is a Spider-Man. He pretty much owns that spot because he's going to be in the top 10 of those figures. And the Thing is right there next to him. I'm telling you, there's no doubt in my mind. It does make me wonder. I don't have a huge Marvel Marvel Legends collection. It's not like ginormous. I don't have crazy amount of stuff, but I do actually wonder where I would rate my exact top 10. I don't know if that's going to be a video. Maybe, just because I don't have as much as other people, so you won't see the same guys on my list that you would see on other people's list where they actually keep up with this line. I cherry pick Marvel Legends like crazy, so I only have so much that I could even talk about. The ones that really grab me are the ones I buy, and like, no regrets here. This guy is unbelievable. I mean, he's so unbelievably good. This guy is worth it. This guy's worth the price of all of them by himself. I'm not kidding. He really is. That all being said, this guy is probably this guy's probably the lowest. Psycho Man is probably the lowest. He's fine, but he has real problems because he does look so good, and it actually restricts the way that he can move or do anything. He was the better of the two bad guys. The High Evolutionary was pretty solid. He's easily the best. He's right there under him. Mr. Fantastic. Mrs. Fantastic is only like right above him. She's actually above him. I think this guy's well done, but the Fantastic Four, maybe it's a hero thing in general. High Evolutionary is made well, but I've never necessarily been a huge, like, oh my god, the High Evolutionary is one of the coolest looking things in the world. No. I mean, I like him, but he doesn't... if you told me they were making a new High Evolutionary tomorrow, and that Marvel Legends was going to release him and he was going to be the highest build quality of any figure that we've ever seen, I still wouldn't buy him. I'd just be happy with this one, because I don't go out of my way for something like that. But yeah, this is an unbelievable line. It is. It's really good. It's really solid. And for what it's worth, we don't have a lot of choices when it comes to Fantastic Four. As far as I'm aware, in Marvel Legends currently, there's like this line of Fantastic Four, and then there's the other one. And I don't even think these are actually Marvel Legends. I don't know. It doesn't say Legends on here anyway. It just says Marvel. They're just toys, and I think they're actually from, like, they might be from the old cartoon show. They're Hasbro, so I mean, I kind of count them in Legends, and they're still using a lot of the same body sculpts and everything like that, so I'm going to call them Marvel Legends, but you're more than welcome to correct me. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they don't count in the Marvel Legends line. Maybe there's something else entirely. Maybe this is just very much written out to be a Fantastic Four series of toys that stands apart from Marvel Legends. But since I can blatantly tell that they're doing reuse in Marvel Legends, I'm going to tell you they're Marvel Legends. The very fact that I was able to prove that they were recycling parts from the Invisible Woman into the Renew Your Vows, which that's a Marvel Legends figure, a Mary Jane, a Spinneret. The very fact that I can tell you they're doing that means these are Marvel Legends, in my personal opinion. Like I said, you're welcome to deny that to me if you really want to, but that's where I stand with it. I would check Big Bad Toy Store. These are probably still on sale. They were yesterday before I filmed this. If they're not, I'm really sorry if you missed out, because this is a really cool deal. But like, regardless, that's what I'm saying, is that this is unbelievable. And I'm telling you, you can piece these out and buy the parts you want now that you've seen all of them with me or whatever. If you just want the thing, I think he's selling for like $12 or something like that. Like, a lot of this stuff was super low, and that's awesome. And also, I've also seen these guys, except for the Thing. I've never seen the Thing there, but I've seen most of these characters sitting at like Wally's and things like that lately. Anyways, I think we've done a long enough video. That was the Fantastic Four added to the shelf, and I'm going to get out of here. I have spoken. Take what you will from it.